بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, we'll have two new lessons today. Not very new, the one that we started today, so we'll have some extension on this one, inshallah ta'ala. So let's begin. So we start by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we send our salam and salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we pray and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He accept this as a good deed for all of us, and forgive us because of this in the judgment day, inshallah ta'ala. Yesterday we started the study of the fail and especially the past tense. So I'm going to very quickly go through the things that we did yesterday, and then we'll add one or two things today for today's lesson, inshallah ta'ala. So we said, to understand the fail for the past tense and present tense, we must memorize all the pronouns, the independent version especially, and then also we'll be needing today we'll be needing the attached version also. Okay, so we must know this at the back of our hand, inshallah ta'ala. So huwa, what is huwa means? Huwa, huma, whom, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antum, antum, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. So we have to memorize all this, and then we say that these are the words, some of the sample fail word, and we talked about this and how this come. The nasara, the ending sound is the one determines who did the job. We also did like this. So nasara, nasarat means she helped. Also we said nasara means both of them helped. Nasarata means both of the women helped. Nasaru means they helped, and nasarna is mean they help. So they women helped. And we have this ones here meaning also. Just a quick recap. This one. Okay. So I hope everybody understand so far what we have discussed, inshallah ta'ala. The next thing is the third person fail that we just did. So these are the ones, and we should remember this way: huwa nasara, huma nasara, hum nasaru, hiya nasarta, hum hiya nasarat, huma nasarta, and hunna nasarna. Then we did the second person, and that's the easy one. Anta become nasarta, antuma become nasartuma, and antum become nasartum, anti become nasarti, antuma become nasartuma again, and antunna is nasartunna, and ana is nasartu, that's the exception one, and nahnu is nasarna. Then we, I think, did some of the words, that who is the doer in these words. Okay. So this is going to be our today's lesson, the inside and the outside doer. What I mean by this actually, basically, so as you can see the two things there, nasara and nasara, means he helped and she helped. But we said that we need to know how we can say something that not only pronoun did, someone else did. All these words that we learn with the conjunction of the pronouns has a doer inside it already. We don't have to say that she did. We don't have a word for she in the fail. We know the word for she is here, but we don't need to say it here. If we say nasarat, we already know she. Same way, if we say nasaru, means they help. We don't have to they use whom nasaru. We don't have to say the word whom, because it's already included in the fail, the past tense of the fail. Okay, so nasara, nasarat, all these things. But how about if we say Allah helped? Okay. Or if we say that Karim did something, Karim played, okay, Abdullah recited the Quran, something like this. How do we say this one? So that's our lesson today. To do this, those things will be outside doers, meaning they are not included in the fail. Obviously, you can understand that could be many things, an unlimited amount of things. You can say instead of help, you can put anybody, anything instead of he. You can say teacher help, the people help, Karim, Abdullah, you can put anything there. So that's unlimited. So those things are not included in this pronoun thing. We have to bring them outside of the pronoun. And to do the outside doer, we need to remember these three things. Okay? To be an outside doer, it has to be after the fail. So the word, suppose we want to say the word Allah, that Allah help. The word Allah has to be after the nasara, okay? And it doesn't have to be exactly after it, not like mudaf ilayh. Mudaf ilayh has to be attached to each other. It can be something in between also. We'll have some example later on, but this is advanced. But for the time being, remember it doesn't have to be attached to it. So the word has to be after it. Must be rafa by definition, meaning obviously the outside thing is doing the action, so it has to be rafa. That's what we learned in the beginning, the first lesson. What is the rafa? What is nasr? What is jar? Rafa means which is a doer. When you think is rafa is doer. That's what our kids are learning now, right? So that word that you want to put instead of the inside pronoun has to be outside of the fi'l, after the fi'l, not before the fi'l, after the fi'l, and it has to be in the rafa status. Okay? Also, you can only use he or she version. What does that mean? We have learned so many of these nasara, nasarat, right? How many of them? 6 for the third person we learned, 6 for the second person we learned, so 12, and 2 for the first person we learned, right? 14 of them we learned. Okay? To use a fail that someone else is doing, like outside doer, you can only use nasara and nasarat. You cannot use other things. Okay? So in other way, think like other way. If I give you a sentence or a fragment, because these are like actually sentence. Like he helped is a sentence, right? With one word, you can say this is a complete sentence. If I say in English he helped, it makes sense. You're not missing anything. It's a sentence. Okay? Yeah, you can say, okay, where is the khabar? That's fine, but it's a sentence. Nobody can deny that. Okay? So if I say that Allah helped or someone else helped, okay, in those ones, if we say, okay, is it an outside doer there? So you have to look for, okay, to find my outside doer, I have to check the fail first. After the fail, is there a word that's in rafa status? Yes, there is a word in rafa status. And also I have to check, is the fail, which version of fails out of the 14 version? Is it nasaru? Is it nasara? Is it nasarat? Is it nasarna? Is it nasartu? We don't need to worry. If only these two are there, then it will make a outside doer. Okay? Other ones are still pronoun. Don't worry about those ones now. Those has implication, we'll learn also. But if you want to make something outside doer, and we will see. And there are so many things in the Quran, and I'll show you some example, and you will see the majority of the things, obviously the outside fail. Yes, there are things like this, they helped, they went there, they this, that. But there's a lot of things with the names, with the isms. So these are the 3 things you have to remember to be something to be outside doer. Okay? So we'll see some examples, and then inshallah it will be clear. You have a question? Like, look at this one. Nasara al-Muslimu. Nasara al-Muslimu. The word Nasara, which of the 14 version it is? It is the he version. We know that. And to know that, we have to memorize the chart, obviously. Okay? And that means there is a possibility of a outside doer. Okay? It doesn't mean that it would be he helped. It could be something else. Is there anything after that? Yes, there is a ism after that. Al-Muslimu. Okay? And we remember our chart from the very beginning. Muslimuna, Muslimina, all these things. And Al-Muslimu is what status is that? Rafa. Okay? It is light also, but light heavy doesn't matter here. Okay? It's Rafa. So here the word, the sentence means, it's not he helped. The Muslim helped. The Muslim helped. So basically this outside Muslimu replace the he inside. Replace the he inside. Everybody clear on that? Look at this one. The next one, Nasar al-Muslimani. Nasar al-Muslimani. What does Muslimani means? Two Muslims. So which status? Rafa, Nasar, Barjan? No, Muslimani. Remember the chart? The second column, first one, Muslim. That's Muslimaini. So this is also another one. See, Nasara is he helped. So there is a possibility could be outside doer. And we found a word after it, not next after it. It could be something in between. There's a other bit complex sentence. We'll go to that later on. But Nasara, Muslim and Muslimani, although it's been two Muslim, okay, but it's in Rafa status in our first chart. You know, the chart that our children are learning, inshallah. So that one, meaning that is also Rafa. Muslimani is a Rafa. So this sentence means two Muslim helped. Two Muslim who helped, two Muslim helped. Because in Rafa status, okay? Don't get confused because it's Muslim and it's dual. Don't make it Nasara because we learned in the chart Nasara is huma is Nasara. But no, it doesn't have to match that way. You can only look for outside doer when it's Nasara or Nasarat, he or she version. Like this one, Nasarat Muslimatun. Why we made Nasarat? Because the word is feminine, we have to make it feminine, okay? And also Muslimatun, also a Muslim woman, okay? And look at this time there's no al. So that's why I said the heavy light doesn't matter. Al, tanween doesn't matter here in this case. So a Muslim woman help. Nasarat Muslimatun. Okay, Brother Tanvi, all clear? Okay, so again, if you see something like this, if you want to see there is a possibility of outside doer, okay, or you want to make a sentence of your own, okay, that someone did something, you used either Nasara and Nasarat version for past tense. Okay, we are talking about past tense, okay? These two version, okay, like if I say, for example, if I say Karim wrote. Karim wrote. Wrote means kataba. So what will be the translation of Karim wrote? Kataba Karimu. Yes, Kataba Karimu. Because Karimu is the Rafa, okay, and Kataba is wrote. Kataba is the he version, okay. If I say Fatima studied. Darasat, because it's feminine, okay? And also, Fatima too, there's some, it should be Fatimata. That's Rafa, no, it should be Fatima too, sorry, it's Fatima too, because Nasab and Jar is same, so it should be Fatima too, okay? So Darasat Fatima too, because Fatima is a girl, okay? So like this, so Nasarat Muslimatu, okay? So only these two are he and she version we have to use to make those words, okay? Does it all clear? Okay, let's look at some examples, simple examples from the Quran, like these two. This is from that word from Surah Al-Baqarah. Rabihat tijaratuhum. Rabihat is which one? Like, is it like Nasara or Nasarat? Nasarat. Rabihat basically by itself it means she benefited. She benefited. She became profitable. No, benefited. She benefited. That's a verb. And tijaratuhum. Tijaratun is a word means business. It's a feminine word itself. And tijaratuhum, what is tijaratuhum?
Their business.
Yeah, but how many words here?
Two words.
Two words. What is the fragments in there, Brother Shiraz?
That is, it's a pronoun, so attached pronoun, it's the mudaf mudaf.
Very good. Mudaf mudafile. So tijaratuhum means their, whom means their. Their business benefited them. See, Rabihat means she benefited, but because we have an outside doer and it's in Rafa status, look, tijaratuhum, and its status is same because it's attached pronoun and a mudaf mudafile, because the mudaf is Rafa, so everything will be Rafa. So tijara, so their business or their trade benefited them. Although the first word looks like a she, Rabihat, and it is she actually, but the tijara trade is also she and it attached with the whom, so their trade benefited them. And actually Allah says ma rabihat tijaratun, their trade didn't benefited them, but there's a ma before that, but that's fine. Next one, khalaq Allah, very simple. Khalaqa means he created, like Nasara, right? Like Nasara, khalaqa. But the word Allah is after khalaqa and it's in Rafa status, so Allah created. Khalaq Allah. Clear?
Rabihat tijaratuhum. Is there a maful in this sentence? Like whom is maful or?
No, whom is mudaf ilayhi.
No, this is what I understood. Like because the way you translated, their business benefited them. So where is that them?
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. We don't have to say their business benefited.
Yeah, I think that is
Yeah, yeah. But in the context, it's come they benefited them. So yeah, that's fine. So there's no, we just say it in English like that. It's like out of context actually. So Rabi had so Khalaqallahu also very similar to this one. Okay, next one. Okay, brother Muslims, try this one. Ittaba'ana ar-rasula. Okay, ittaba'ana means to follow. Okay, so is there a possibility of a outside doer here, like the previous examples? No. Why? Because is it like nasara? Is it ittaba'a? No. Is it ittaba'at? This is the first pronoun. First pronoun, like in the first person, nahnu. Ittaba'ana means nahnu. So we don't need to look for outside doer. It cannot be outside doer there. So ittaba'ana means we followed. Okay? Who did we follow? Ar-Rasula. We followed the Rasul. Okay, sallallahu. And Rasula also here is not Rafa. Rasula is Nasab. So it makes very simple sense. Remember when we started the class we said, some English sentences. So if I say we followed the messenger, so who did we follow? The details is the messenger. So obviously we are the doer, fail is the followed, and then Rasula. See now we are making a complete sentence. Now because we are learning fail now, before we said what is na means, now all the pieces coming together inshallah, right? So ittaba'ana means we followed. How do we know we followed? Because we memorize the chart, right? Huwa nasarahum nasaru, like this. So ittaba'ana is nahnu, ittaba'ana, and then it's not an outside doer because it is not nasara or nasarat version. So we say the Rasulullah. Like this one, Allama al-Quran. Everybody know this, right? Ar-Rahman Allama al-Quran. Allama means he taught. So there is a possibility for an outside doer. But is Quran a Rafa or Nasab? Brother Moses? Nasab. So it cannot be outside doer. It doesn't fulfilling our condition. So Allama al-Quran means he taught the Quran. Very simple. If we say Allama al-Quranu, then it will be the Quran taught. The Quran taught. Because it will be Rafa, so we can the Quran taught. Everybody understand? Simple, right? Like this one. Allama al-Muslimuna. This means this is a Rafa. So the Muslim, a group of Muslim people or the group of Muslim, they taught. But if we say Allama al-Muslimina, this is Nasab. Okay? So it will be he taught the Muslim. Okay? Clear? This one, Qala al-Kafiruna. Qala means he said. This is a very common word, It appears in the Quran more than 300 times. Okay? So Qala al-Kafiruna. Qala means he said, like Nasara means he held. But al-Kafiruna is in Rafa status. So the disbelievers said. All this plural. Okay? So if you look at it, don't get confused. No, it should be Kalu. Because we learn from the chart, Huwa Nasara, Huma Nasara, Hum Nasaru. Okay, so Kalu. No, because we can only have, for outside doer, we can only have he or she version. Doesn't matter this part is plural or what. Okay, we can only have he or she version. Okay, everybody understand?
But here, for example, it's not Qala, it's Qalu. Okay, so because it's a they version, it's a Qalu, it's a they version, so then there cannot be outside.
No.
So
you will never find Qalu
Kafiruna is
No.
impossible.
If you say that, then it will be Qalu al-Kafirina.
Okay,
They
so
say to
to
the
the
disbeliever.
Makes sense.
They say to the disbeliever. Okay? Okay. I think that's the concept for today. There's another thing I'm going to show you today, just to remember for this one, about attached pronoun. Attached pronoun, we already learned about attached pronoun in Mudaf Mudafilai, right? Okay, and we said the pronouns are very important, that we need to know about all these things. So with the fail also, fail could have attached pronoun. The fail that we are learning, it could have attached pronoun. If there is attached pronoun of the fail, then we must translate the fail by itself, because we know the translation of the fail from the chart, right? And then we translate the pronoun, attached pronoun. So qatalahum. Qatala means he killed. Hum means they. So it will be he fought them or he killed them. Okay? There is no possibility of outside doer here. Okay? Don't say they killed or they fought, because whom is not Rafa. It's attached. it attached to, like basically it's nasab here. Okay, who did the kill? Who did he kill? Them. So like this. Okay. Another attached pronoun. Nasara means he helped. Ka means you. He helped you. Okay. And ka is here. And remember in the chart we said the ka could be nasab or jar. Here it is nasab. By definition it is nasab. By meaning of it. You know, remember the simple English sentence we learn when you learn about rafa and nasab. So if I say he helped you, who's the doer? He is the doer. Who did he help? You. You are the detail, so that is nasab. Okay. See, even those things are coming into handy now, inshallah. Right? Let's see. Ittaba'ani. Okay. He followed me. Very good. He followed me. Yes. Ittaba'a means he followed. Ni is nasab version of ana. Kazzabuka. What will be it? Brother Rubai?
He lied to you.
They like
Kazzabu means not lied to it. Kazzabu means to make someone a liar, like call someone a liar. So when they call Prophet a liar, so they called you a liar. Kazzabu. Khalaqakum. Brother Murshid, you try that?
Khalaka created
All of you.
all of you.
See, kum we remember from our chart. So that's the pronoun chart we have to remember, right? So khalaqa means he created. Kum means all of you. He created all of you. Okay. So we're talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah created all of you. Now, I think depending on this kind of attached pronouns, so we have seen attached pronoun in few places, right? In the chart, we have seen them in the mudaf ilay. Okay. We say them working independently, and we also just saw them, with the fail. So there are 6 things that you have to remember about attached pronoun, and this is for all the time. Even in advanced level, you need to remember all these things for pronoun. Independent ones are always rafa. Okay, the independent pronouns are always rafa. Ones hidden inside the fail are also rafa. Like nasara, there's an inside fail, right? Like inside the pronoun, right? Those are also rafa, always rafa. Because by definition there is that, like he helps, so who's the doer? He. So simple is that, right? When attached to a harf of jar, they are jar. We already learned that one. Remember when you do jar majroor, when attached to a jar, so it will be like, give me an example. Give me an example of the number 3. When attached to a harf of jar, a pronoun attached to a harf of jar.
Be in.
Yeah, be him, good, or fihi, in it. Okay, so all these things are harf of jar. Remember harf of jar? Remember harf of jar? Yes. Okay. Number 4, when attached to a harf of nasab, they are nasab. That's what also we learned. It's nothing new, right? We learned this one. Inna, like innaka antas samiul alim. Innaka means definitely you. Inna, annaka, anna, la'allakum taktakun, la'allakum. So that you may be successful, okay? La'allakum tuflihun, okay? So all these are, when it's attached, it's nasab. When attached to an ism, when pronoun is attached to an ism, they are jar because they are mudaf ilay. We learned this too, right? Kitabuka, book of his or his book, right? Okay? Book of you, sorry, your book, right? So this is also nothing new. Only new thing today we learned about the pronoun is this one. When attached to any fi'l, they are nasab because they are detailed. Just like we see that khalaqakum, kazzabuka, all these things are always there. So these 6 things we must remember about the pronouns. And this is how pronoun appears in the Quran. There's no other 7th way. You won't find any other way. So there are 2 ways it can be rafa. There's 2 ways it can be rafa. One is by itself, independent, like Huwallahu allazi la ilaha illa, this one. Okay. Also, once hidden inside the fill, like nasara, kataba, nasarat, all these things. When attached to a harf of jar, as I say, fihi, be him. Okay. So 2 ways to be rafa, 2 ways to be nasar, jar. 3 and 5 is jar. Mudaf ilay, and when it's attached to a harf of jar. And 2 ways for nasab. Harf of nasab and fail. Easy to remember, right? 2 rafa, 2 nasab, 2 jar. Okay. I think that's what I have for today. So next week, inshallah ta'ala, we'll have some more examples from the Quran. So the concept that we learned, that the chart, nasara, nasarat, we can find out who did the job, Also, then you can tell me is it a outside doer or not outside doer, and also we'll see like what type of pronoun is there, what type of attached pronoun is there. Is it like a fair attached to a fair and everything? So, inshallah ta'ala, this is the same thing. Okay. So, jazakallahu khairan, subhanakallahumma bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka.